What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to the 484th edition of TSR Live. It is Tuesday, July 9th, 2019. We are on day 2 of Interracial Relationship Week. This week I'm talking about the relationships that black men have or could potentially have with white women and non-black women, as well as the relationships that black women think that they can have with non-black men. So it is good to have you guys back in today. We are streaming live to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. So however you are watching, wherever you're watching from, thank you for making the Sharpe reality a part of your daily routine. All right, let's get right to it. I found an article entitled 8 Reasons to Date a White Man, written by LaShawn Williams. And of course, you guys know I had to have a look. Now, the original article was published on a website called Madame Noir, and it's been taken down for whatever reason. But I found it on a website called Capital Lifestyle. It looks like it's a Kenyan lifestyle platform for digital storytelling. I don't know what that means. I don't know. Maybe it's something profound. I don't know. This is actually a response to the original article. So as I scroll through this, you guys are going to see the short responses by the writer who responded to the article. I don't even know what her name is, but we're not going to pay attention to those because it's typical female emotional rhetoric response fodder, which serves absolutely zero purpose for men. What we are going to focus on, however, is what the original poster wrote and respond to those things. So here we go. 8 reasons to date a white man. So it says in this article, it starts out, yes, I know, the title sounds preposterous. And again, this is the woman who is responding to the article. She says, I was angry as you when I saw this. I spotted it at Madame Noir. This article was written by a lady called LaShawn Williams. She started off with a short disclaimer that she's married to a black man, saying, quote, I am married to a black man, a dark-skinned 100% Coco. To me, she says, there is nothing more physically beautiful on this earth. Notice I said physically. Outside of that, there are plenty of more financially, intellectually, and emotionally stable options. Black men, specifically African-American men, should be highly offended by this generalization. Anyway, here are her 8 reasons. That last part is what the author says, that we should be highly offended. Listen, man, what it comes down to is some of these things are true. What we're gonna do, so let's start it off this way. Let's start off with what she says. Outside of plenty more financially, intellectually, emotionally more stable options. This woman, LaShawn Williams, the original poster, is literally telling people to follow the Sandbergian principle of modern life dating for women. And for those of you who aren't familiar with the Sandbergian principle of modern life dating, I'm going to go ahead and pull that up. If you're looking at your screen, or if you are listening to the replay, it says, quote, this is Sheryl Sandberg, quote, when looking for a life partner, my advice to women is to date all of them. The bad boys, the cool boys, the commitment-phobic boys, the crazy boys, but do not marry them. The things that make the bad boys sexy do not make them good husbands. When it comes time to settle down, find someone who wants an equal partner, someone who thinks women should be smart, opinionated, and ambitious. Someone who values fairness and expects, or even better, wants to do his share in the home. These men exist, and trust me, over time, nothing is sexier. So, in a nutshell, Sheryl Sandberg is telling women to sleep around in their 20s and then settle down with men who want to do housework and who, quote unquote, adore strong, ambitious, corporate-driven women. Right? This is alpha fucks beta bucks. You sleep with all the alpha males, all the cool boys, the bad boys, the commitment-phobic boys, the crazy boys. And when you lose your sexual attractiveness, when you are no longer able to attract those kinds of men, then you settle down with someone who wants an equal partner, who thinks women should be smart and opinionated. And she says, these men exist, and trust me, over time, nothing is sexier. That is so telling. Yes, these men do exist, right? That is actually most men, because most men have a scarcity mindset. But then she says, trust me, over time, nothing is sexier. See, where Sandberg leads girls astray is that she is saying that nothing is sexier, assuming that you can still attract the bad boys, the cool boys, and crazy boys. No. The reason why this becomes sexier over time is because those become your only options. The cool boys, the commitment-phobic boys, the crazy boys are not going to find you attractive when you're 30, right? They wanted you back when you were 22 and 23 and young and childless and hot. But when you're in your mid to late 30s, the bad boys don't really want you anymore. So of course, these men exist, and trust me, over time, nothing is sexier. Yeah, over time, nothing is sexier because over time, those become your only options. But let's take a look. Let's take a look at what there we go. Let's take a look at what she's actually saying. So this right here, this is the equivalent to LaShawn Williams saying that there is nothing more physically beautiful on this earth. What she is saying, Williams, is that black men are just good for aesthetics and sex and really not much else. Even though she's married to one, she says there are plenty more financially, intellectually, and emotionally stable options, meaning white men. Those are those stable options she's talking about. Translation, there are more attractive options out there. Well, Donovan, aren't black men attractive? Listen, this is a great question, but you have to understand, this is a little bit of Red Pill 101 here. There is a difference between attraction and arousal. They are two very different things. The things that make a man attractive are not the things that make him sexually arousing. This is exactly what Sandberg meant when she said the things that make the bad boy sexy do not make them good husbands. So the things that are arousing are not attractive, right? A man who makes $60,000 a year, has a 401k, benefits, owns a home, drives a Honda Accord, and has a great credit score, that man is attractive. A man who is tall, has washboard abs, tattoos, a square jaw, and a 5 o'clock shadow, and rides a motorcycle, that is arousing. People often conflate attraction with arousal by using the word attractive when arousing would be a much more fitting term. When a woman says, oh, he's attractive, if she sees a guy who makes her nether regions moist, what she's really saying, what she really means, that he is arousing. She wants to have sex with him. Now, she can't really know if he's attractive or not because she didn't know anything about him other than the fact that she wants to be up under him. Now, of course, women aren't going to say, I'm aroused by him or he's arousing. Now, sometimes they come out and play and say, listen, I'd let that dude do whatever he wants to me, right? Because we've used the word attractive in place of arousal for so long, it actually sounds kind of funny, so we use the word attractive. Now, some people use the word sexually attractive, which is another way of saying arousing. Anyway, the red pill translation here is that Ms. Williams, LaShawn Williams, is saying that black men are arousing and that white men are attractive. Okay, again, this is alpha seed, beta need. This is the dualistic strategy of the feminine imperative. So LaShawn Williams has 8 reasons black women should date white guys. And I'm going to break down each and every one. I also want you guys to understand that I don't disagree with everything on this list. So if there are any brothers, any black men watching, gentlemen, keep your emotions in check. You guys have to remember, this is the Sharpe reality, which means I point out uncomfortable truths about everyone in the sexual marketplace, regardless of race. And gentlemen, listen, myself included. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I'm not going to include myself. I readily admit that I have sexual market deficiencies because of my race, just like I pointed out yesterday. That doesn't mean that I think that white men are superior to black men and vice versa. That's not what I'm saying at all. No, I call it like I see it. And being objective is what I try to do. So if you're the kind of guy that gets your feelings hurt, if you hear something unflattering about your race as it applies to the sexual marketplace, dude, stop watching and read Chicken Soup for the Soul. And I'm talking about black men and white men here because I'm going to be pointing out some things about both races. So be ready. So let's go here. Let's go ahead and get started here. The number one reason why she thinks that black women should date white men is they open wide instead of down low. Gay white men, she says, tend to be more forthcoming about their sexuality with family and friends. The down low phenomenon is less prevalent, which preserves the battery usage on your gaydar and relieves the stress of dissecting every male relationship. Translation, it's easier to tell if white guys are gay than if black guys are gay. Now, I'm not a woman, so I don't have, I guess, what's called a gaydar, right? Devin and I will be out to dinner or whatever, and our waiter or cashier will be a dude, and everything will seem normal. But when the waiter leaves to get our drinks or leave the store, she'll say, that dude's on fire. And I'm like, wait, what? How the hell do you know that? She just says, listen, Donovan, I just know. Trust me, that guy's more attracted to you than he is me. Listen, girls have a supernatural sense in terms of detecting homosexuality in men. Anyway, I'm not sure if that's what she's saying here, but if it is easier to tell that white guys are gay than if black guys are gay, I guess that's a plus. I don't know. Not really too much I can say about this one, to be honest with you. So let's just go ahead and move this up to number 2. Number 2, not looking for someone to take care of them. Thanks to the absence of family, fathers, and marriage in the black community, a greater number of our men have backward expectations when it comes to romantic relationships. A higher percentage of white men come from stronger family structures and more traditional gender roles where the men seek to care for the women. Here's her problem. If she's dated a bunch of black dudes who needed to be taken care of, then she's been messing with too many Pookies and Ray Rays, guys. That's really all there is to it. No black man, no man of any race really worth his salt, wants or needs a woman to take care of him like a mother. Men of all races want women to take care of our sexual needs. Men of all races want women to take care of us in a way a woman in a sexual relationship should. But in what universe do women actually date guys who are looking for their mamas? I don't know, maybe I'm out of touch here, guys. I've never been attracted to women like my own mother. That's gross, man. Either way, if a woman is bragging about the fact that white guys are not looking for someone to take care of them like their mothers, it's fairly clear that this chick attracts the wrong kind of dude, which means she is a low-quality woman. Women are always wondering a lot, why do I always attract losers? Well, the reason for that, baby girl, is because you are a loser. And loser men know that non-loser women don't want anything to do with them, so they go for the women who will have them, women who are losers just like him. Number 3, the third reason why LaShawn Williams thinks that black women should date white men: attend and graduate from college. Black women, she says, are graduating from college and black men continue to drop out. As a result, degrees become intimidating when dating black men. In white culture, education is valued and expected. Thus, white men have no problem dating educated women with advanced degrees. It is impressive rather than intimidating. I love how women, specifically black women, put so much emphasis on something that can be easily attained. Yes, I am talking, of course, about the fraudulent certificate of educational participation, otherwise known as the 4-year degree. I have talked about this in the past. Take a look and listen. 3 college students are female. That should tell you all you need to know about why so many chicks want to go to college. Dude, it is one giant 4-year orgy in a group of buildings they like to call a campus, where the education curriculum is quite literally a review of your last 2 years in high school. You complete that, you get a certificate that says you're educated. Easy peasy. Now, wait a minute, Donovan. If someone gets a college degree, they put in the work. Negative. Getting a bachelor's degree is easy. That's why 2 out of 3 people who get 4-year degrees are women. Seriously, like really just take a second and think about this. Think about your interactions with educated women. Just really think about it. Most would answer, like honestly, have you ever thought about your interactions with women? No, of course. Most of you are going to say no, right? Because if you did, you would know that educated women are every bit as vapid, every bit as dumb, every bit as useless, right? Every bit as solipsistic as the girl from the trailer park who works at Burger King. There's no intelligence difference there, guys. One has a certificate, the other does not. But both are stupid. They're both promiscuous. I mean, think about the conversations you've had with educated women in their 20s and 30s. They're all stupid. Now, some people might catch wind of this episode, and they're probably laughing. Right? The feminists, the male and female elite who live out in Silicon Valley, they're probably condescendingly chuckling and saying, "Oh, this guy is so lost. He knows nothing about gender equality." And I would expect that because of the college statistics out there. They love to point to that stuff. But let's take a look at the professions that really matter. The professions that take post-secondary education and careers that require critical thinking skills and deductive reasoning in a stressful environment. Let's go down the list. 65% of all physicians, doctors, are men. 74% of all lawyers, all attorneys, men. 74% of all dentists, men. 70% of engineers are men, and over 80% of engineering students are men. 81% of surgeons are men. 96% of all commercial pilots. That's right. We got a missile and 2 grenades between our legs. And I don't think I have ever seen or heard of a female fighter pilot other than the mythical Captain Marvel. Guys, I grew up on military bases. I'm here. Listen, I've gone to more air shows than any. I can promise. I've been in more cockpits than all of you guys combined times 20. Of that, I'm certain. Guys, I have sat in every cockpit of every cargo, every fighter plane, every fueling plane, every helicopter, every chopper imaginable at least a half a dozen times each. And I have never, ever seen a female pilot in any of them. Never seen a female F-22 Raptor pilot. Never seen a female F-16 pilot. Never seen a female pilot a MiG-28, an F-18 Hornet, an A-10 Thunderbolt, the B-52 stealth bomber, the SR-71 Blackbird spy plane. Never seen a female in the cockpit of a cargo or a fueling plane. Never seen a female in a KC-10, a DC-10, a C-130, a C-141, a C-5 or a C-17. Never seen it. Never seen a female pilot for the Thunderbirds, the Blue Angels, not even as a publicity stunt. Right? You would think that they would do one as a publicity stunt, right? Maybe they have a guy in there wearing a wig. There's Cheryl, the first ever Thunderbird pilot. So when you have a health issue, a serious health issue, or your freedom is hanging in the balance, or you need a root canal before half your jaw falls off, or you need a lung transplant, or if you need a skyscraper built, or if you need to be flown in a steel tube in excess of 550 miles an hour, 35,000 feet in the air for hours at a time, who do we turn to in situations like this? I can tell you who we don't turn to. We don't turn to all these educated women out here running around with their fraudulent 4-year degrees. At the end of the day, college degrees, they don't mean anything, guys. And the reason why women, specifically black women, are rushing to get these college degrees is, number one, it's very easy to obtain. And number two, they believe that college degrees should make them sexually attractive. A college degree should give them access to the highest value men out there. We can thank Tyler Perry for that. There's just one problem. Getting a college degree is easy. Becoming feminine, losing weight, and losing that attitude problem is not. That's the problem with black women. They continually take shortcuts to try to become attractive to black men again, and then when these shortcuts don't work, then they want to get mad. Let's move to number 4. At least attempt to marry before making babies. For whatever reason, she says, white men just don't have children sprinkled all over the world like black men, and if they do, most of them were married to the mother at some point. Sure, they divorce, but you can only divorce if you at least attempt a marriage. This is LaShawn Williams trying to make it sound like she's not aroused by arousing men. She can talk all the noise she wants about black men having children sprinkled all over the world, but at the end of the day, women are aroused by pre-selected men. Don't get it twisted. A man with 8 baby mamas, as bad as you think he is, he's going to get more attention and more sexual arousal from a man who has none. Sad but true. Should it be this way? Of course not, but that's the way it is biologically. Now, that's not to say that these women would ever commit to a man with 8 baby mamas, right? They got to worry about the 8 baby mamas. That comes with child support, visitation, and kids, you're not my mama, and baby mama drama and all the rest of that. So they're never going to commit. They'll very rarely commit. But in the back of a woman's mind, she subconsciously says to herself, this dude has 8 kids by 8 different women. That must mean he's got a huge dick, or he can give women earth-shattering orgasms, or both, because they all let him hit it raw multiple times. And because of that, I want to know what he's working with. I want to know why these women let this man put a baby in all of them. Now, on the outside, they say, OMG, he's got all these baby mamas. But every woman who says this aloud wants to find out why he's got 8 baby mamas, and they know it. Pretending not to be aroused by players is disingenuous, it is intellectually dishonest, and it is transparent. LaShawn Williams ain't fooling anybody here. Number 5, the 5th reason she points out as to why black women should date white men. They don't glamorize ignorance. They may listen to rap music, she says, but they are smart enough not to act it out. The, quote, thug life is not something to be aspired. White men have a firmer grasp on what really defines manhood. Correction. No man, no race of man has a firm grip on what defines manhood in this day and age, least of all white guys. Look, nothing against white guys here, but if we're keeping it 100, the average black man has more testosterone than the average white man, which makes him more masculine, at least physically masculine. Yes, there are some black dudes out here who are soy boys to the core, and yes, there are many white men with so much testosterone in their system they can grow a full beard in 3 hours. I get it. But we all know that on average, black men have more testosterone. More testosterone equals more muscle, more fast twitch muscle fibers, and all the rest of that. Look at our professional sports leagues, guys. 77% of all NFL players, black. 70% of all NBA players are black. Now, only 8% of all Major League Baseball players are black, but guess what? 4 of the top 6 home run hitters of all time are African Americans, those being Barry Bonds, Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, and Ken Griffey Jr. So even though we make up only 8% of the total baseball population, we own 67% of the home run titles. 27 of the last 36 winners of Mr. Olympia, that is the Super Bowl of bodybuilding since 1984, have been black. Lee Haney won 8 straight. Ronnie Coleman, the greatest of all time, won 8 in a row. Dexter Jackson won 3 in a row. Phil Heath won 7 straight. And the guy who broke Phil Heath's streak last year was Sean Roden, who is also black. And by the way, Phil Heath is going to win Mr. Olympia this year and next year. So he's going to break the record of 8 and win 9. But that's just my prediction. That's neither here nor there. Anyway, black men were bigger, faster, stronger because of the high testosterone levels, which means that white guys have nothing resembling what this chick is characterizing as a firmer grasp on what really defines manhood. These are just words. This chick, honestly, if this chick was being honest with herself, she would take as much semen in her uterus as it could handle if a brother wanted to hit it raw, and she knows it. If you get something out of my content, like, comment, subscribe, and share. My channel does not grow without you guys sharing my videos, so text your friends. Slide into their DMs, blast this on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Get the word out, guys. If you're a little short on cash, remember, likes and shares are free, so you can do your part without having to go into your wallet. If you sign up for my weekly newsletter, you'll get my 7-hour, 5-part audio course on how to build a quality woman from the ground up, absolutely free. That's right, guys. Subscribe to my newsletter, and you will pay not 1 red cent for my course. I'm putting the link in the chat right now. Or you can go to donovansharpe.com/free-course. Again, that is donovansharpe.com/free-course. Now, don't go and sign up for my newsletter and then ask me, well, Donovan, I didn't get my course yet. You have to sign up at donovansharpe.com/free-course. Or when you go to donovansharpe.com, scroll down a little bit, you'll see the pop-up. If you want even more of my content, sign up for my Patreon. That is less than 17 cents a day. This afternoon, I am releasing episode 8, which talks about penis health. I talk about the importance of taking care of your manhood, the benefits of making sure it is in optimum working efficiency, and the things I do myself to keep it in tip-top shape. So it is a great educational podcast. And I remember getting a lot of great feedback on that episode. So you guys definitely want to get a hold of that. Quick announcement here. As of yesterday, I have temporarily suspended TSR Primetime until further notice. The reasons are simple here. Number one, I'm wearing myself out, guys, and I just need some time for myself. You guys know I work extremely hard every day to bring you guys the kind of content you guys have come to expect. And having to do this twice a day, it's burning me out. I want to be able to bring that same energy, that same fire each and every day. And being burned out is going to compromise that. Number two, I need more time to myself. Right now, I'm putting in anywhere between 10 to 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. And because of this, my diet has slipped. I don't have time to lift weights like I used to. I'm usually around 225, but as of Sunday, I am at 237 pounds, which is not all right. So I need to free up some time for myself to get my body right, get my diet tightened up, so I can get my body back to the way it needs to look. And finally, I'm just not getting as much viewer participation as I anticipated, which isn't a bad thing. I've only got 600 patrons or so right now, so it stands to reason that I'm not going to have 400 and 500 people watching like I do here on live. So what I'm going to do in its place is I'm going to have a weekly call-in show once a week for my patrons. I'm not sure of the day and time quite yet, but I will be letting you guys know sometime this week. I'll take your phone. Again, I'll take your phone calls. I'll answer your questions in the chat. I'll talk about whatever it is you guys want to talk about as it pertains to living a dominant lifestyle. I think doing it once a week will have a much greater impact and create a greater sense of urgency, which will hopefully lead to more views and participation. So guys, stay tuned for the day and time that the now once weekly TSR Primetime will be moving to. Okay, let's continue with LaShawn Williams' 8 reasons why black women should date white men. Financial planning and stability. Black people, especially men, she says, are always trying to shine, often spending more money than they have. White men tend to be more educated in the area of finance with a greater understanding of retirement planning, savings, investments, etc. This is mostly due to a higher level of exposure and teaching, but all that matters is they know and make better decisions than black men. I can't stand these female writers. They write so choppy, it's hard to read. Anyway, make better decisions than black men when it comes to managing money. Listen, she's getting no argument from me on that one. She's 100% right here. The average black man isn't as financially savvy as the average white man. It's probably a cultural thing, as well as some educational discrepancies, but whatever the reason, she's right. And again, I'm talking about the average black man, right? Like, listen, if you're a black man, don't get in your feelings. Don't feel all sometime, well, I'm a financial advisor. Bro, listen, I'm happy for you. But on average, the average white guy is more financially savvy than the average black guy. This is 100% accurate. If you're the exception to the rule, good for you. Try to teach other brothers how to get their finances in order, but I can't argue with number 6 here. Number 7. Oh, this is a good one. Have the ability to look beyond your past. Ever wonder why white people can date the friends of exes and so on, she asks? It's because they don't let the past hinder the present. Promiscuous black men think they deserve to settle down with virgins and allow past relationships to haunt the present. Not white men, she says. They have no problem turning a hoe into a housewife. This chick loses me for good right here. Newsflash, Ms. Williams, all men are hung up on a woman's past, especially if a woman voluntarily tells him how many guys that he has been with. And of course, guys stupidly ask, how many men have you been with? Regardless of race, no man wants to find out his girlfriend was the town bicycle in her 20s, white man or otherwise. Every man has a problem with turning a hoe into a housewife. What is this chick on, dude? But you want to know what she's describing here? If we're really reading between the lines, she isn't describing the difference between white men and black men like she wants us to believe. Oh, no. She is describing the difference between the men she wants for all of her sexual needs and the men that she wants for all of her non-sexual needs. This woman thinks that white men are straight up beta males who will wife up a hoe, put a ring on it, and have no problem with it, while black men are spreading their seeds all over the earth. We don't want to turn a hoe into a housewife. Gentlemen, this is Alpha Fucks Beta Bucks, and she lets the cat out of the bag right here at number 7. Number 8, the last and final reason she encourages black women to date white guys. Don't take everything as a challenge to their masculinity. Intimidation and insecurity, she says, are 2 reasons for the rift between black men and women. As a result of their insecurities and low self-esteem, black men are intimidated by the strength of an educated and ambitious black woman. Rather than seeing her as a strong teammate, she's a threat to their manhood. Thus, they feel the need to overcompensate. White men, on the other hand, are more secure. What black men see as threatening is what makes a great wife and business partner to them. First off, Ms. Williams, black men are neither intimidated nor insecure around black women who are quote-unquote educated. I addressed that earlier. Secondly, black men are not intimidated by the strength of an educated and ambitious woman. No man is. But I'll tell you how every man feels about the educated and ambitious black woman. Okay? They are a fucking headache. No one's trying to deal with a woman who's insufferable because of her education. I don't know about you guys, but I don't need a strong teammate. I need a submissive subordinate. I've got all the strength I will ever need. I'm a man. I don't want to date myself. I'm not looking for a woman who's just like me. This is why polarity is good in relationships. This is why opposites attract. I'm the extrovert, Devin's the introvert. I am wildly ambitious and driven. She wants to support me. That's how this works. Also, a strong teammate is not a threat to my manhood. A quote-unquote strong teammate. No, sweetie. It is a threat to my sanity. It is a threat to my bottom line. It is a threat to my very freedom. When she says that, quote, white men are more insecure, what she means is that white men are pushovers who let women of all races walk all over them. What this chick doesn't understand is that she doesn't really want to be with this mythical white guy. Oh, no. Because not only is she married to a black man because she is aroused by him, she wants us to think that they're aroused by men who are pushovers, and that is simply not true. She is advising black women to date white men because she thinks that white men will be agreeable. She thinks white men will let her do whatever she wants. She defines this as having a firmer grasp on manhood. In her mind, and in the mind of every other black woman, is that a man who actually pushes back, a man who holds her accountable, a man who doesn't tolerate her shenanigans is somehow overcompensating and is doing this out of intimidation. Black men don't see black women as threatening. We see them as a billboard for Advil or Vicodin or Flexeril or even fentanyl if we just want to make the pain go away forever. Let me cut that off there. What this comes down to, guys, is that however accurate or inaccurate parts of this list may be, is one immutable truth that black women need to understand. Sisters, listen very carefully. You can't date white guys. You can't do it. If you do get lucky and get a white guy to commit to you, trust me, he is of the low quality variety. He is the guy with no backbone. Look at this guy that she uses. I'm going to go back to this article. Look at the guy she uses on the screen. Look at this. This is unbelievable. Look at this guy sitting there cheesing. Does this look like the kind of guy that's going to hold a woman accountable? Look at his face. Let's scroll down a little bit more. There we are. Look at the guy's face. Does this guy look like the kind of guy? Look at him leaning in. Oh, I'm so lucky. Blah, 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 blah. She's strong and independent. No. Those aren't the kind of women. Those aren't the kind of men that women want. You can't date white guys. And if you do, he's the guy without any backbone. He's the guy who can't keep women of his own race in line. He's the guy who has no problem with the fact that your baby daddies, Taquan, DeMarcus, and Jaquan Travius, are always hitting you up on weekends. And even then, these dudes ain't trying to date black women. When are black women going to just acknowledge that black men are their only option? They already know the truth. They know the score. But because the highest value black men are getting with pretty white girls who are flat out better women, they think that by proclaiming that white men are beating down their doors to get with them, that we as black men, we're going to come running back to them. And don't get it twisted, guys. This is why black women are telling us they want white guys. They don't really want white guys. They want us to think that they want white guys, and they want us to think that white guys want them so that we can come running. And those of us who are in the know, those of us who know the truth, we ain't buying it. Sisters, do yourself a favor. Do what's hard. Improve yourself in ways that are difficult and sustaining so that black men will want you again. You've tried getting fake college degrees. That didn't work. You've tried telling us white guys want you. That damn sure ain't working. You've tried skin lightening products. That doesn't work. You've tried dyeing your hair blonde and getting blonde wigs. That hasn't worked. You've tried everything short of becoming white girls themselves. What y'all don't understand is that we as black men, we don't date white girls because they're white. We date them because they're not you. You see, this has nothing to do with skin tone, sisters. It's got nothing to do with if she ain't white, she ain't right. It's got nothing to do with any of that. It has to do with your lack of femininity, your obesity rate, and your attitude. And you know what the sad thing is? All of these things are under your direct control. You control your femininity. You control your weight. You control your attitude. These are things you can change. But instead of doing the things that actually get and keep the attraction of high-value black men, you try shortcuts like fake college degrees, blonde hair, and fake white Instagram boyfriends beating down your door. You guys are sad and alone because you're not women. Anatomically, you're female, but you are not women. And this is why you are and will continue to be at the very bottom of the sexual food chain. And no amount of I date white guy articles is ever going to change that. Thanks for watching.